Hello, family. Last random rant of the day. The hour is growing late, and soon it will be dark, and that tells me it's time to go to sleep because the unnatural freak of nature that's not even required to reproduce chickens is someone has introduced one of those into the space that we had out here in nature, and with the symphony orchestra of nature being replaced by this unnatural freak of nature. But no offense to the rooster, it's the humans that do that stuff. Actually, it was the demigods, but that's another story. Today I want to give a rant. Maybe it's a rant, and maybe it's more like a memorial. I have a really deep connection with most animals, insects, and like really everything here. It's easy to communicate with various life forms on this planet, but humans are the exception to that rule. Anyhow, it's all in divine order. Everything is in divine order. But I still have to let things out because for whatever reason, drop a seed, maybe change somebody's perspective, I don't know. Do something that helps them in their life, I don't know. Or maybe I just rant and get it off my chest because it bothers me, and I'm not going to keep silent about the things that bother me, no matter who likes it. So, as my dear brother Mark Passio says, you can get as offended about it as you like. It's the truth is the truth, and the feedback that we get in this case is for us. But anyway, as long as we're living in accordance with natural law. If you are not familiar with natural law, please visit, if you can find, his name is Mark Passio. Mark, M-A-R-K, Passio, P-A-S-S-I-O. Or think of the word passion and take the N off the end. And what are you left with? Passio. And he's one of the holistically intelligent and intellectual giants of our time. But he has a slightly different delivery method, and good for him that he does. We need more of that in the world. So anyhow, here we are. So I just want to share this story, and also give honor in a memoria kind of thing, or how do they say memorial? Memoria de los animales, in the spirits of the forest here, right? So this one is called the scorpion, and now. Whatever preconceived ideas you have in your head about the scorpion, let those go for just a second, right? Bear with me. Just go on this ride. I'm not saying you have to change your mind. I'm just saying come with me this way and check this out, because this has been my experience. And I tend to base my experience over, something I read in a book, or, oh, my friend of a friend got stung by a scorpion and yada, yada, yada. Well, I have scorpions that live with me in my house, and if I just, like one I was cleaning yesterday, and I moved his mat where he likes to hide at night, and anyway, I apologized to him and said, hey, like, he's a spirit of the forest. He's live here. he's the one who's endemic to this forest. I'm the pasajero. I'm the one that's passing through. I'm the introduction. I'm going to even say the unnatural introduction. You know. But, you know, he's part of the forest, and he's a very noble creature. He's a messenger. And he brings us a very strong message when we need to be paying attention that we're out of alignment with nature. So, for instance, I have some neighbors that live probably, I don't know, I'd say less than 20 meters on the other side of a dirt road from me. And neighbors beyond that, and they all have this sort of, like, I guess, mentality about scorpions, and so they call in the guy, the pest control guy. I don't know what they call, but they come and fumigate, and they have to do this like every 3 to 4 months. So I don't even want to, like, don't even get me started about the health consequences that that's going to have on your family and your pets. But bear in mind too that each time you spray a chemical on these beings, just like us, they adapt and overcome. So they're going to become more resilient to that other chemical, and you're going to have to use a stronger chemical, and then that'll have to be replaced by another stronger chemical until we have what's called superbugs and indestructible so-called parasites. Well, I think a better, or, well, I don't know, I don't want to say better because that's like sounding like I'm, you know, like I have bias or like I'm making some sort of a judgment. I can't really say for sure, you know, if the way that I perceive things is so-called better. But I'll just share with you my perspective is that when we come into the sacred forest where this very noble creature lives, and in harmony with all the other creatures of this forest. When we come into that space and we bring cement boxes that they call houses, you know, filled with mold. I mean, the mold is a messenger too, but if you don't want to pay attention to the mold, you can buy an air conditioner and pollute some more with the Freon and all that other stuff, right? And just, yeah, ignore the messenger. What if he comes, if the scorpion stings you? Like, just because you see him doesn't mean he's going to sting you. If you see him, he's saying to you, hey, there's something wrong here, and remember, I live here, I'm from here, you're in my neck of the woods, you're my guest, and I'm gonna give you a message if I don't like what you're doing to my forest. I don't want you pouring concrete all over my forest. I don't want your air conditioners. I don't want your toxic device. I don't want your satellite TV and your all of this, right, that the humans bring with us. We just think it's normal, but nobody considers it from the scorpion's perspective or any other. But we're just going to keep it with this scorpion now. So anyway, they basically come over here to my house to seek harbor or safety. And I remember the first one I saw was. The first one I saw was almost immediately after I moved in, and I used to have this beautiful, like, I don't know the name of the plant, but it was endemic to Mexico, but it had the petals of a rose. It was kind of somewhat similar, I'm trying to think of what it was like a rose. It was very soft, it was very sweet, it was very cooling and comforting, right? This plant, and I saw something. I saw one of the petals. Not that it was covered in this roses and beautiful red color, right? And I saw one of the tops of the petals. I thought needed to be deadheaded because it was starting to turn brown, but that wasn't the case at all. It was it was indeed brown, this leaf, right? This one petal of this rose plant, this scorpion who had been exposed to the chemicals that were being sprayed at the neighbor's house, ran over here, and he curled up inside of one, or rather he ran into this rose to find comfort and protection, and because he felt like his body's on fire, right? If you've ever had these chemicals sprayed on you, that's what it feels like. It literally feels, your skin is melting off, right? And anyway, so he found some refuge in this plant, and the plant responded in kind, because it too is a loving spirit, right? And it too has a purpose, and it curled itself around the scorpion. Like, all these leaves were like rose petals, but they were flat, except for this one had curled in around him, and the only thing I saw sticking out the bottom was his tail. And I walked over there and I saw that not just that rose petal that curved in and turned brown, but the surrounding petals underneath and on the sides of him had also turned like singed, right? By fire, kind of thing, right? And I just thought to myself with it, how grateful I am for that plant to have the scorpion have a merciful death. But I have to be honest with you, many other scorpions have done that since, and that plant is no longer with me. And then the second time I saw a scorpion was upstairs. And so, he made it a special point to come all the way up there. He was in the middle of the floor, somewhere near my bed, I think. And I saw him, and he was like twisting and turning on the ground and having convulsions, and like, because it's a neurotoxin, right? It attacks you on a neurological level, and you lose control of your bodily functions. The scorpion is one of those, I believe, the only creature on the planet who, if he's surrounded by fire and he knows there's no escape, rather than suffer a miserable death, he has the ability to poke himself with his own stinger and commit hara-kiri. So he was trying to do that, but he couldn't maneuver his tail to do that. And I heard him screaming, I swear I heard him screaming, saying, help me, Daddy, my skin, it's on fire, I want to die. And it was just so horrific. And so anyway, it's getting really dark, and I didn't mean for it to go this long, but I just wanted to talk about they're messengers, these creatures, they're messengers. Let me pop over here just in case, because I think my light might be getting a little off. Oh shit, I can't, I forgot. I got this. Hold on. Let's try this. Maybe that's better. I don't want it to be too dark. I don't know if it's gonna come out. I don't even know where I'm supposed to look now. Over here, I think. So yeah, I just wanted to share that story about the scorpion and the rose. And like, if we don't want such strong messengers coming to deliver a message to us, then we should be careful to build with things that are not toxic to the forest, and that aren't just sustainable, but rather regenerative. Like, it's a regenerative kind of thing, like, say, hemp would be very regenerative on multiple levels, like economic, social, frequency level, every level you can imagine. But anyway, that was another video. But I just wanted to share that story of the scorpion and the rose, and remind you that if you do see one of these, scorpions, let's say, in your house or whatever, right, to say, what message is it that you are bringing? What are you reminding me? Because they'll usually make one appearance before they sting. And sometimes they just don't even make the appearance because you're so fucking psychotic and off track and off balance and out of touch with nature that you need to be stung. And don't get mad at the messenger who lives in the forest. You're the pasajero. So Yeah, and then I just wanted to give you from the perspective of the scorpion who had to die such a horrible death, and now they're all sort of born here now. Like, I see babies everywhere. I don't know how long they live, because as soon as, they try to expand out and go in different territories, they run into all these chemicals. So anyhow, that was my 2 cents on the scorpion and the rose. And Florcito says good night. Ciao for now.